Órale, Cholo Trucker, los tres chingones, boxing shots, all the chingones y chingonas. It is fight time, man. Time to get into it. So let's go ahead and bring in all the chingones. Let me go ahead and, oh, the banner is up. All right. Let's go ahead and bring in the boxing scientist from Mikey TV One, Mr. Mike Zavala.
What it is said, let's get ready to rumble. Oh, it's on tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
Eso. And David Contreras is spending some time. It's Thanksgiving week. He's spending some time out in Nashville, man. So shout outs to our camarada David Contreras. But here we have our Tejano brother from Potazos y Pendejadas One, Mr. Mark Anthony.
How are you guys doing? Mikey TV, how you been, bro? Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to yourself, Mr. Cholo. Happy Thanksgiving from Texas, guys. Let's talk about boxing. We got a big weekend.
Yeah. A lot of people complain about it, but I'm actually looking forward to it. And I think it's a pretty damn good card, man. Is it $85 worth? No. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and let's touch a little bit about what happened over the weekend, man, with Diego Pachenko and his victory, coming off a good knockout victory, man. Watching this fight, he was getting tested pretty damn well. He was. And at points, I was like, hey, this kid, he might end up losing this fight. I don't know, man. He's getting tested pretty damn hard right here in this one. Now, I'll tell you guys what I saw from Diego Pachenko, okay? He's a tall, lengthy fighter. He doesn't mind exchanging. He's a tough kid. I see a good, solid fighter. At the moment, and I know he's young, at the moment, I don't see anything special. I see good, and I like this kid. But at the moment, chingones, I don't see anything special to say, you know what? This kid, he's going to be something great. I don't see that right now. I see something good, solid, but nothing special. Mikey, what did you see, big dog?
Oh, man, Pacheco, he's a kid that's rising, young, 23 years old, 6'4". I saw him trying to use his abilities, right? Trying to use his advantage. 6'4", he was lengthy. He was trying to box from the outside. He didn't keep getting up to the body, kept countering, and there had to be an adjustment. But dude, he has these abilities. He has to maximize his abilities, which he did. But he faced adversity. He did get hurt. I mean, he got hit. He cut his eye. He was facing a rugged fighter that doesn't make you look good, man. He knocked him out, man. I love that. Like I said, I love when a young fighter, and a fighter in particular, faces adversity and he gets the win. Better yet, gets the knockout, which he did. He passed the test with flying colors. This was a great test for him. He's not special per se, but he is getting better, and he is a real deal. This was a great test, and he passed the test in my book, and I want to see more of this kid. Is he up there with the Canelos and up there? He's a kid, man. He'll get destroyed. But maybe with the Orlando fight? Yeah, I like that fight. I think
Oh, hey, yeah. Mikey, you mind logging off and then coming back on? Your sound keeps going up and down, man.
Oh, all right. I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, it sound was pretty bad.
It was coming in and out. I could still make some of it out, but it's going to be tough for the viewers.
Right, right. Mark, Diego Pachenko, what did you see with his knockout victory over the weekend, man?
Hey, listen, I didn't know who he was, never heard of him in my life, but I do keep up with you guys, and I did hear about him because of you guys. I made it a point to watch it. I don't, to be honest with you, I watched the fight just because of you guys. I've never heard anything about him. I've never read anything about him before or after. Um, I've I don't even know what his record is, but I saw the fight and I really paid attention and I really do like what I see. Great size, great technique. La punteria, the placement of his punches is unbelievably accurate. Holy crap, very accurate. You could tell that this kid is extremely, extremely, extremely schooled. He's got great technique. The leverage on his punches is outstanding. Everything he does when he places his punches is outstanding. The footwork, the leverage. He's so schooled and he's very crisp. What I don't like is he does get hit a lot, even just off the jab. Sometimes he would get hit really hard with the jab. And when you're getting nailed with a jab, that something needs to change. He does get hit with a lot of other couple of power shots here and there. The one that I don't like is when he just gets hit off a jab, just straight. I mean, no move. Like, you know, those first exchanges, usually a jab is very hard to connect. Not on him. They're just right on his face quickly. And I think that'll lead up to some problems. He doesn't fix it. I think he's young enough to fix it. But I really do like what I see. I think that's an easy fix. And I see a world champion. I don't see anything special. But today, a world champion really isn't special. Anybody can get, there's so many belts and so many avenues to get there. I like the kid. I think he'll be a title holder.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Look, I'm gonna agree with you, Mark, in the sense that a world champion doesn't really mean that you're special today. Because it just doesn't, man. You go through the right paths, you can find a championship, and then if somebody just happens to, relinquish or get stripped from from a title, whatever, and then it can definitely be happening. You could definitely become a world champion and not be a special fighter. Can I see Diego Pachenko being a world champion? Yeah, I can. Do I see anything special in him? No, I see a fun fighter. I do. I see somebody that people are going to pay attention to, and he's going to give a lot of good, entertaining fights. He is. But I don't see anything special in him. And, he still is very young. Okay. He still is very young. And I could be completely wrong. And he can change his game a little bit more. He could change his defense a little bit more. And I could be like, whoa, you know what? I got to eat my words. So I'm going to put him in a taco and eat him because, damn, this kid has really evolved into something special. At the moment, I see a fun fighter to enjoy while he's around. He's pretty thin. He's pretty thin at 168. I don't know if he's gonna beef up and move up to 175 at some point. He's still, like I said, very young. I think he's only 22 years old. Where does he go from here after this fight with Concerres? I'm not really sure, man. I'm not really sure who he can really, if there's somebody of a name at 168 where I think he can put a name under his belt where it's like, oh, he beat somebody with a name now. I'm not really sure who that is. I don't think he can take on anybody like a Caleb Plant or a John Ryder or anybody like that, man. At least not right now. In the future, yes, I do think he can probably beat some of those guys. But right now, no. So I'm not even really sure where he goes at 168. I'll say you, Mikey.
Berlanga, man, that's the fight we want to see. He came from a prospect. Now he's a contender. Like I said, man, he's solid, man. He's solid. I think the Berlanga fight will be a great name under him and a nice test. But like you said, Ed, he's not ready for not even for the kid from Tijuana. What's the kid from Tijuana?
Munguia.
Munguia. He's not ready for Munguia. Munguia has too much experience, man. But he is climbing. He is climbing. Now he's a contender. So let's keep an eye on him.
I will say, man, I think Munguia would take him, but the Berlanga fight, I definitely think that is very winnable for Pachenko, man. Berlanga, shout outs to all the Boricuas and everything, man, but Berlanga is just not good at all. And I'm not even really sure if anybody from Berlanga's camp will be like, yeah, that's the fight we want. Because if Berlanga is gonna lose, let's lose making some good money. Let's lose, making a nice, good, big fight. And Pachenko at the moment is not a big fight. Yeah, they could somewhat kind of sell it with the whole Mexico versus Boricua, but Pachenko, his stardom is not there yet. He's barely getting the ball rolling, man, where people are starting to talk about him a little bit more. People are starting to get to know him a little bit more. So that money for a star fight of a Mexican versus a Boricua isn't there yet. Now he fights Munguia, now that money's a little bit, we bump up the money there a little bit more. But I'm not really sure if Berlanga's team is gonna be like, yeah, let's go fight Pachenko, because I think Pachenko can win that fight, and Berlanga's not gonna make a lot of money for that one. So yeah, but I got Pachenko in that one, man. But Mark, what do you want to see from Diego Pachenko from 168, man, on his next fight?
I know it sounds weird to talk about this for a boxer, but in this case, I think it's a must. He needs to gain some muscle. Um, I mean, I know muscles don't, win fights in boxing, but he really needs to get a. He's at a weight division where it's gonna matter. I mean, he's a 168, but I mean that's the skinniest 168, 160 I've ever seen ever. Maybe Tommy Hearns back in the day, but he even had a little bit more girth. I'd like to see him get some more girth, even if it takes him out of that division. I still think will have the skills and the strength and the power to carry it in the other one, but he needs girth to withstand somebody like a Munguia that's big and push him around, those big elbows and the way they kind of push and things like that. I know he probably knows todas esas mañas que todos tienen inside, pushing elbows, things like that, shoulders, but he's too small to handle that, man. He needs to get some beef on him. Yao Ming from the Houston Rockets came in very skinny one year, beefed up. He had to be pounding with Shaq every damn week. So, it worked for him. I'd like to see him get bigger. It doesn't matter if it moves him up a division or two, get some, experience and get some girth and don't lose the speed somehow. I think he's going to be fine. I don't know when he gets that girth where he's going to end up because of how big of a kid he is already as far as height. But if he ends up 168, 175, if he gets really, really big, because right now I don't think he can lift 100 pounds. And I know it's not supposed to mean anything in boxing once again, but in his case and the divisions that he's in, I think he's going to need it.
Man, you just always got to throw in your Texan pride, huh, Holmes? You just always got to see the Houston Texans logo in the back. You always got to throw in your Texan pride, man, bringing up Yao Ming and all that. Nah, you know what? And that's what I was alluding to earlier, man. He's very thin. He's very skinny. And once you get in there with some pretty big hitters, man, even if you're blocking some of those shots, it can do a lot of damage. So, at 22 years old, again, who knows? Maybe he moves up to 175. I'm not really sure, but I do like watching this kid fight, man. And let's see what happens, man, in 2024. Hopefully, we get to see him fight 3-4 times. So, but yeah, gentlemen. Man, so before we get into the card tomorrow, I know who I'm talking to, but I want to go ahead and throw it out there. Katie Taylor has a rematch with Cameron tomorrow. I'm watching this fight. I'm a Katie Taylor fan. I cannot wait for this fight, man, since the first one. I'll start with you, Mikey. Will you be watching this fight?
I didn't even know she was fighting, man. Nah, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna lie. I like women's boxing, but I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit the gym in the morning for the big fight.
All right, Mark Shanton Cameron is fighting Katie Taylor rematch of a good fight, I thought, man.
It was a good fight. I am looking forward to this one.
Will you be watching tomorrow?
Absolutely, man. Look, I'm a fan of women boxing worldwide. Doesn't matter what continent this
Mm.
time. Women boxing for me is awesome. Katie Taylor is awesome. She's good for boxing. It's going to be a big night for her country, and they're going to make a lot of money out there. It's going to be a big event. Yes, I'm going to try to squeeze them both in.
Do you watch the WNBA?
No, I don't. I don't watch the WNBA. No, not at all. Women's boxing, man. That's it.
All right. No, you know what, man? I am excited for this fight. I've been waiting for this one
Yeah,
for
it
a
was a
while.
good first scrap. Yeah.
Yeah, since the first one, I'm a big Katie Taylor fan, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this: I'm gonna be rooting for Katie Taylor all the way, 100%. But at her age, I don't think she gets the victory, man. I really don't. I kind of think it's a little bit of a repeat. Maybe she, yeah. I'm trying to come up with different ways how she could come up with the victory, but no, I just no, I don't think so. Unless she look, hopefully she has a better hairstylist because in that first fight, her hair was getting in her face and it wasn't looking good, man. But I am looking forward to the fight. I will be watching the fight. So yeah. Shout outs to Katie Taylor and Cameron doing their thing, man, out in Ireland tomorrow. I will be watching. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and let's get into the card. Tomorrow, I went ahead. I watched the weigh-ins. Believe me, we're gonna get into all that stuff that happened in the weigh-ins, man. But let's go ahead and let's start with the first pay-per-view fight with Hector Luis Garcia versus Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach, 23 wins, one loss, one draw, nine of those 23 wins by knockouts. Hector Luis Garcia, 16 wins, one loss, which was to when he moved up and fought Tank Davis. Uh, three, I think it was three no contests or three draws or something like that. I'm not really sure. And 10 only by knockout. But again, only 16 wins. So it's not like he's got a lot of fights under his belt professionally, that is. Mikey, I'll start with you, man. Mikey, you didn't like Hector Garcia because he came out a while back and saying that Mexican fighters are easy to beat, that he could beat any easy fighter, man. What do you make about Lamont Roach against Hector Garcia?
Yeah, that one it didn't hit my radar. I didn't really pay attention to that guy because I'm not really a big fan of his. Southpaw, he's like a technician type of fighter. He's pretty good. Dominican fighter. I don't know his opponent. I'm not paying attention to that fight. I'm paying attention to the next three fights. Those are the ones I focused on. So I mean, he wins, whatever. I'm not even tripping on him.
All right. All right. Mark, what do you make of Lamont Roach versus Hector Luis Garcia?
You know what? It's
Yo.
Oh,
see
he just
anybody
fought.
higher.
Okay.
We good? You guys hear me?
Okay. Now, yeah, you froze for a second. Go for it, man.
Okay. No, yeah, I like this fight. I didn't know about it. I started looking at the card today. Of course I know about all the other cards, all the other fights, right? But when you sent me I had never seen the bill in the form that you sent me earlier in a text, and I saw them at the end, so I kind of just looked at it, and I saw a couple of their fights. Both of them seem evenly matched. They both already went through the fire once and got to that next level fight, and both have lost that next level fight. I think it's a get back for both of them, and they're very evenly matched. I really couldn't give you an idea of who would win because I haven't seen them too much of them, just a little bit today. But I'm going for Roach because as I was scrolling through the stuff, I did hear what Garcia said about Mexican fighters. So I am choosing Roach on this one. But I think it's going to be a good fight. I think they have it has a chance to be probably, the most competitive fight of the night.
Yeah, I like the
Because
match.
it's very evenly matched.
Yeah, I like Lamont Roach. Hector Luis Garcia. I'm gonna agree with my boy D Style right here. And just what we were talking about earlier, right? You don't have to be special to be a world champion these days. There's nothing special to me about Hector Garcia. Yes, he's champ. Um, I think he comes out with the victory. I think it's somewhat of a close fight, but they go ahead and the judges. I think it goes the distance. I don't think anybody gets stopped. I think it goes the distance, and they give it to Garcia. And there's gonna be some people saying like, I don't know. I think Roach won, and just a little bit back and forth, back and forth. Not too big of a deal because it's the first fight in the card, and everybody just kind of forgets about it. Once the rest of the card gets going, and nobody makes a big fuss about it anymore. But for that moment, for that time being, I think people are going to say Roach won the fight, but their judges are going to definitely give it to Hector Luis Garcia. And by the way, I think Garcia, I think he takes probably most of the rounds. Some of those rounds being very, very competitive, though. I don't think Roach is no pushover, man. I think Roach is definitely going to go in there, make a statement for when the time he can. It's not going to be every single round, but he's definitely going to do something there. And people are going to remember Lamont Roach for the time being until the rest of the night takes over. But yeah, I think it's a good starter, man. I think it's a good starter to a pay-per-view card, which we'll get to pay-per-view in a second. But yeah, they both weighed in exactly at 129 and a half pounds, so they both made the weight limit, and we'll get to weight issues in a second. Um, hey man, the next one, I think it's badass. Now I'm gonna butcher homeboy's name. I'm not talking about Subrio Matias. Okay, he is badass, man. I love Matias. He's all that and a bag of chips, Holmes. 19 wins, one loss, 19 wins by knockout. His opponent, this fight's at 140. His opponent, Ergashev. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his first name, man. But he comes out looking like Prince Hakeem from WWE. If anybody remembers the late 80s wrestling, man, yeah, he comes out like that. 23 wins, no losses, perfect 20 by knockout. Damn, dog. And Matias, I mean, this dude is a killer, man. Subrio Matias has flown way under the radar when it comes to 140 pounds. Everybody keeps talking about, the Teofimo Lopez, the Regis Prograis, and Devin Haney now is up there, and Ryan Garcia is up there now, and Josh Taylor. Nobody, nobody's talking about Subrio Matias. Man, this guy needs to be talked about because this dude's a straight killer at 140, man. Mark, talk to us a little bit about this fight.
I'll talk to you about this fight, and I'm eager to talk to you about this fight because we had an interview with Subriel Martinez's trainer about 3 weeks ago. He was on the show. His name is Jay Panda. This is a very interesting fight. He gave us some information. Jay Panda is going up against Joel Diaz. This is the second time that they face each other. And let me tell you something. When Jay Panda and Joel Diaz get together with their fighters, it's going to be explosive. They have faced each other once. Funny backstory, they know each other. They grew up in Coachella, California. Jay Panda trained under him. Obviously, Jay Panda is younger. So they came from the same schooling. Now, Jay Panda has gone on and had a ridiculously successful career, just, like Joel Diaz. But Joel Diaz is, we talked about this. Joel Diaz is one of them older guys, your Robert Garcias, your Freddie Roaches, your Joel Diaz, the older trainers that are established and have been out there, and they're la vieja escuela, güey. Jay Panda, la nueva escuela, ahí viene fuerte, him, el señor Caballero, Estrada, what's his name? Estrada's trainer, Jose Caballero, Jose Alfredo Caballero, Jay Panda, Navarrete's trainers. There is a young, up-and-coming, big-time school of fighters in Mexico, and Subriel Matias is part of a gym called Aldama's Gym in Mexico. Ahorita, this is what Jay Panda said. Cuando los Estados Unidos habla de los mejores gimnasios en el mundo, ahora tienen que hablar del gimnasio Aldamas en Sinaloa. It has become a hotbed for fighters like Subriel Matias, Camarón Cepeda, Rocky Hernandez, who we just saw, Alacran, so many fighters in Mexico. I do believe that Subriel Matias will have the edge only because of the talent that he sees day in and day out at Aldama's Gym. Aldama's Gym is, and I'll say it right now, the best gym in Mexico, period. Surpassing the famed gyms in Mexico, the famed gyms in Tijuana. Aldama's Gym is number one in Mexico right now. I believe, in my opinion.
Passing Nacho Bernstein?
Absolutely. And they are very good friends. And I believe, yes, absolutely. They have way more talent. Uh, they have a lot of world champions. And I believe at the end of next year, they'll probably have the most champions in that gym. With them, Sanfer Boxing, Jose Alfredo Caballero brings his fighters in. Jose Alfredo Caballero's son is coming up. They're very strong. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time. Joel Diaz against Panda. I know everybody else is looking at it with Subriel Matias against Ergish, what EJ or Ergashov, whatever his name is.
Ergashev. Ergashev.
Ergashev. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as I'm looking at Jay Panda against Joel Diaz. What are they gonna do? They know each other so well. It's gonna be a chess match. I'm so freaking excited for this one. I'm gonna go with Jay Panda. He's a friend of the show. Joel's a very good friend of the show as well. We have interviewed him. He invited us out there as well. We are going to make it out there. He's going to be training a very good fighter from San Antonio, Texas, Dinamita Cárdenas. That just came out. We broke that news last week. So we will be out there soon doing some exclusives out there. I will be talking to him about this fight. I'm sorry, Joel Diaz, but I am going with Jay.
Okay, so they're both friends of your show. You're just going with the friend that you like more. I got you, dog. I get what you're saying, man. Mikey,
I
man,
believe in that, Jim.
Subriel Matias, man, against Ergashev, man. Joel Diaz, I like Joel Diaz, man. I think some people need to consider him a little bit more as a trainer. But what's your
He's
thoughts,
a great
Mikey?
one.
Yeah, Matias went under the radar, man. I discovered him a couple of days ago. I heard Marquez talking about him. Yes, he's training in Mexico, but from what I heard, he's in the DF training in high elevation, and so he's in the mountains. He's getting sparring. He's bringing sparring from Sinaloa. He's bringing sparring from all around the DF, and they have great fighters. So this guy's smart, man. A Puerto Rican fighter training in Mexico. Oh, you can't beat that, man. They both have knockout power, man. This is a fight I'm waiting for. Also, this one, like it might steal the night. This is gonna be a banger, man. And Panda's like Mark said, he's the upcoming coach. He has El Camarón and other fighters. Yeah, man. And Joel Diaz, man, he's a mastermind. Every time Wes says something, I listen because he keeps it real, and I like what he talks about, what he sees outside the ring. He explains it well, and I watched the fight and it happens. I'm like, oh shit, he knows what he's talking about. So it's gonna be a great fight. Hey man, whoever lands, it's gonna be. Whoever lands, see what happens. It's going to be a banger, man. It's going to be a banger. I think it's going to be it's not going to go 12. Someone's going to get knocked out, and I can't call it. But I want to see this Puerto Rican fighter come up because I've been hearing echoes now that he is pretty good. But we got these guys from Kazakhstan and all that. They're monsters. We don't know who they are. These guys are bangers, man. It's in their blood.
Joel Diaz has a mom.
Yeah. I seen a lot of fights, when I saw the weigh-in, I was looking for Joel Diaz talking. Now that you're talking, like, where's Joel Diaz? Is this Joel Diaz kind of fighter? It seems like it, and you called it, man. You said it right now. So, man, this one's gonna be dope. I'm not gonna miss this one for sure. Oh yeah.
And well, Mikey, your sound is a little bit better, but it's still a little bit like a roller coaster, high, low, man. Yeah, I don't know, but I'll tell you guys this, man, about this fight. And by the way, it got a little bit chippy. I don't know if you guys saw the face off after the weigh-ins. They both weighed in at 130, 139 and 3/4, and then they get a little bit tested with each other. I don't know if that's real or not, but I really think that this fight is probably going to be the one that's going to steal the show. Ergashev is, if I'm pronouncing his name right, even Jimmy Lennon Jr. had a tough time pronouncing his name, man. And I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his first name, but he's undefeated, man. He's perfect. 23 wins, 23 knockouts. Subriel Matias, 19 wins, 1 loss, but 19 wins, and all of those wins are by stoppages, all by knockouts. I mean, damn, man. Maybe the star power of the names aren't there, but the lead up to a great fight on paper, at least, that's there. That's definitely there, man. And that's the part where I'm like, damn, you know what? These are the fights, man, that it's like we just push out there to people. It's like Who's Subriel Matias? Nobody really knows, man, unless you're really into deep into boxing, right? Unless you're deep boxing fans. Because I'm gonna have a party here at my pad, right? A nice little bash. And my homeboys, they like boxing, but they're just casuals, man. They just know the big names. That's it. They don't know anybody else. They don't follow boxing like that at all. But um I want them to watch this fight. It's like, hey, these are two dudes you have no idea. You've never seen them ever before. You've never heard their names, nothing, because you guys are casuals. But man, this is going to be the fight that I believe, I think this is going to be fight of the night. This one right here. And I'm excited for this one, man. Subriel Matias, Ergashev, who do you got winning this fight, Mikey?
I can't call it, man. I just know it's gonna be. It's not going 12. I can't call it.
Okay. All right. Mark?
It's close. I can't call it, but I'm going for Suriel. I just on the sparring, man. I don't think there's no way that this other cat has the sparring that Suriel has. I mean, when you see chingazos like that day in and day out, that's a high level of chingazos, man. I mean, you're just used to it. You go up against a guy like him, and it's not a walk in the park, but you've seen it more than likely and felt it.
Okay, so both of you guys are tapping out, homie, and not giving
No,
me who wins the fight.
I'm going Suriel. I'm going Suriel.
Okay.
I'm going Suriel. I'm
Okay.
saying because of the talent he sees.
Okay.
It's just too much. Too much. He's gonna win. I mean, I think they're even, but Suriel just sees so much more overwhelming talent. It's when you're fighting world champs every day. I mean, you're gonna win. I think he's gonna win.
Okay. Hey, D Style, I think Subriel puts it on Barbosa, dog. I think he does, man. I had a
I
little
agree.
bit, yeah, I had a little bit more high hopes for Barbosa once upon a time, but I don't know, man. He has not impressed me lately. I think Matias eats him up, man. Hey, if that's a fight that could be made, yeah, sure, I'd like to see that, but I think Matias tears him apart, man. And yeah, I'm gonna go Subriel Matias on this one. Although, you know what, this Ergashev guy, man, 23 wins, 23 knockouts. Look, man, this guy could be like Tom Pool from Kickboxer. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah, he could go in there and tear him up, dog. This could be his moment. Not to say that beating Matias is gonna make you a huge name, right? Because Matias is not a big star, but he's a much bigger star than Ergashev is, man. So if he gets a good victory on Matias, now we can start talking a little bit more like, hey, we got another player in the game. Because I have not heard anybody mention this guy's name. And maybe that's because it has the whole damn alphabet in his first and last name together.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's what it is. Okay. That just let's be honest.
Mikey, he's from Uzbekistan, right?
To tell you the truth, I'm not sure, but the guys that Diaz has, they all come from that area type.
They come from
So
Uzbekistan, but I think
okay,
he's from Uzbekistan. I'm more than sure. And those guys, they have a lot of good fighters.
Well,
yeah, man.
we'll see tomorrow, man. And I'm calling it right here. I think that's the fight that steals the show. Are most people gonna watch it? I'm talking about I don't know if I should say casuals, but casual in between kind of boxing fans. Maybe not. Maybe they're just gonna pay attention to the co-main event and the main event, man, because that's what most people do. But I think this fight steals the show, man. But I'm gonna go Subriel Matias. At the same time, I think it'd be something, man, if Ergashev can go ahead and get a victory and we can start mentioning his name a little bit more, dog, especially if it does not go the distance. So, but all of their wins, Matias and Ergashev, all of their wins are all by stoppages. Badass. Love it, man. Gentlemen, let's get to the co-main event, which was supposed to be at a catch weight of 163 pounds. So Jamal Charlo makes his ring return in over 2 years. It was not going to be for the belt. It was never going to be for his WBC strap. It was going to be at 163. He weighed in, I believe, at 166.4 or something like that. And then they gave him some time to come back and weigh in more. And he came back even heavier. at the end, he weighs in at 166 and a half pounds. Where Jose Benavidez Jr. weighed in at 161 and 3/4 of a pound. Um, yeah, man. I'm gonna well, I got a lot to say, dog. I got a lot to say about Jamal Charlo, but I'll pass it to you first, Mikey. What do you make of this co-main event? Are you excited for it? I keep hearing people trash this main event. I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. But yeah, there's a lot I got to say about it. But Mikey, go for it, man.
Man, but let's just keep it real. Benavidez is really a 147. All right, 54. Now he's moving up to 162, whatever catch weight, and he's fighting a bigger dude. Man, I like Benavidez Jr. But his leg, he can only do so much, man. He can only do so much, but it evens out, right? This guy hasn't fought in 2 years. I'm talking about Charlo, and he has mental issues, and he ate last night, ate too much turkey last night, and fat ass didn't make weight, disrespecting the game. So I want Benavidez to put hands on this dude, but dude, he's gonna fight some Gorda, so it's like I don't even think he's gonna do damage. So man, dude, this is fucking disrespectful to the game. Charlo's garbage truck juice, man. I think this is the end of his career. The WBC, man, it's just I just want to see Benavidez Jr. put hands on him, but he has one leg. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of. Hopefully, it's a good fight.
Okay. Mark, what do you make of the catch weight? Were you a fan of the catch weight to begin with? Are you excited for this fight at all? I hear a lot of people trashing this fight, that this fight is trash. They hate this fight. I'm actually excited for the fight, but what's your thoughts on it?
Matt said that I was, excited more for the Subriel Matias, but man, I'm excited for this fight too. Like really excited as well. I mean, you got two stars, man. You got the star of Creed, fighting a Texas legend there in Houston. I like this fight, but yeah,
Jamal's not a legend. He's not a legend, brother. Come on,
Texas legend.
Come on, man.
Texas.
Come on, hey.
I did say Texas. I did say Texas.
He's not a legend, brother. Come on, man.
Mark, let me ask you a serious question. Let me ask you a serious question, Mark. Okay, you're a true proud Tejano. All right, is Jamal Charlo really looked at as a Texan legend?
Hey man, he's an undefeated middleweight. We haven't had a lot of success in Houston as much as you guys. So yes, we're riding with Charlo.
Virgil,
he is a Houston, Texas legend. But anyway, look, Mikey's right. That guy started at 140, Mikey. Benavidez.
Yeah.
Benavidez was the first Benavidez that was supposed to be the Benavidez. And he was a badass at 140, but he really disciplined out of the ring, didn't get it done at 140. He had his shot. Boom, move him up to 147. He was in the mix again. He was doing good things. He actually did better against Crawford than Charlo. I mean, he gave him a pretty good scrap, but he got hit. That was the end of it. So he's had two chances at 140, 147, 160, too much against 160-pound Charlo, who's been the WBC champ for I don't know how long. Come on, man. It's too much to take. I'm going with Charlo. I like this fight. I think it's going to be exciting. Also, Charlo's coming off a really long layoff. I don't think if he never had that layoff, if he didn't have that layoff, he'd probably wipe the floor with this small guy.
Oh, yeah.
But he's had a long layoff. Mental issues, possibly drugs, possibly alcohol. I don't know. He owes a lot to his family. He owes a lot to his brother. He owes a lot to his children. I mean, he's been humiliated in public, really in a bad way. People really think bad about this guy, man. When he's standing up there, I hear jokes about crackhead and things like that. That shit's not funny when you're a fucking family man. So he's got a lot to prove to his Houstonians, to Texas, to everybody. I think he's going to get back. He understands it. Talking about the weight issue, I was a little bit disappointed in the way he looked in the press conference. He looked timid, and all this rah that I'm saying that Charlo's gonna knock him out. When I saw the press conference, then dude stepped up on him. He didn't even get up. He didn't have that classic Charlo. He was timid. He didn't have that classic, Houston, what's up, back streets, Fifth Ward, whatever. Nada de eso. He was very timid, so I started getting kind of worried. At the weigh-in, he came in 3 pounds over, not giving a shit, aggressive. I said, yeah, that's Charlo, the disrespectful Charlo. Don't give a shit, in your face. Let's go. Now I'm a little bit more comfortable with it. Yes, I like that he came in 3 pounds over and gave him the money. Let's go. I'm going to do you. Get back to that dirty Charlo Houston dude. Let's go.
All right.
Charlo. Don't even ask me again. Just Charlo. Don't come back for the predict Charlo.
Mark Anthony, man.
All day,
with this Texas.
He owes a lot of people shit. You owe your family, you owe your kids, you owe your brother, carnal. You owe a lot.
And he got slapped by Caleb Plant. He got slapped by Caleb Plant.
Yeah, so he needs. If he fucking loses, that's it. Wait, like, you've been humiliated, drugs, todo, tu familia, losing your house. Carnal, get up. Get up. And we want you to get up. We're waiting for you, dude. Houston all the way. Let's go. H-Town, stay down.
All right. Hey, man, you know what? I'm not laughing. Hey,
I kind of want to see this fight.
Big shout out to I'm not laughing at H-Town, man. Big shout outs to H-Town, man. I'm just Mark, you're tripping me out. Okay, look, check this out, man. I watched the press conference, right? The same thing that you were talking about, Mark, when Jose Benavidez Jr. will stand up and be like, "What's up? We talking about? Let's handle it right now." Charlo, throughout all this, has looked out of it. And I'm being real, man. I'm not saying it to smut the dude up. I watched his interview with Brian Custer on The Last Stand. He looked out of it, man. He looked high. He looked like he took a couple of bong rips, and I'm not being funny. He looked out of it, man. Like if he was smoking some Yesca, maybe he downed a couple of pistols. He has, every time a mic has came up to him talking about this fight, from everything that I've seen, he's always looked kind of out of it, man. And I'm like, okay, is he sober? Because his eyes are a little glossy. He looks a little bit lost. He looks like, what are we doing here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got a fight coming up. And then he's just kind of talking like this. And look, Mark, I'll somewhat agree with you, right? At the weigh-ins, where he's just kind of being a little bit
out of it.
Okay, sort of. But at the end, when they put the mic to him and they said, "Hey, how do you respond to what Jose Benavidez Jr. just said?"
Back to the docile vato.
I don't know. What did he say? He's rocking this big ass chain with 2 lions on it, and I don't know what he say. I couldn't even hear what he was saying. It's like, well, basically he's saying he's going there. Man, we fight tomorrow. Like, dog, what's going on, man? Is this dude really having some big issues? Is he sober? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm really asking the question because throughout all this, through the press conference, through his interview with Brian Custer, through everything that I've seen with Maul, he has looked very lost. His eyes, like he's just in space. And I'm telling everybody this right now. Who do I think is winning this fight? From the eyeball test, from what we see as fans, I think Jose Benavidez Jr. is winning this fight. But I truly don't think they're going to give it to Jose Benavidez Jr., man. They're not going to give it because there's really nowhere to go with him. He is kind of, Mikey, like what you said, a gatekeeper. He got shot in the leg. He's never been the same ever again, man. And he's not even really supposed to be fighting in any of these weight classes. And Jamal Charlo, I've been saying it for a long time, man. I don't think he's ever going to fight at 160 ever again. And this just kind of proves it. And the fact that he came in almost at 168, I think kind of speaks volumes right there. So it's just kind of like, okay, well, this is going to be his last fight that is not at 168, because I think he does go up to 168, but I don't know if we see him in the ring again. This dude seems like he's got some issues all over the place, man. He seems lost. I've said it before. I don't really like Jamal Charlo, but in this case, I'm just being 100% sincere. Look, man, I want the best for him. I do. I don't think he wins this fight from the eyeball test. By the judges' scorecards, I think he wins this fight. Mikey, how say you, man? And who wins this fight?
I mean, we saw how Danny Garcia beat Benavidez Jr., right? He was in and out, in and out. He didn't run. He got out of the line of fire. He got out of the space. He stepped out a little. He took like 2 steps back, and that's how you beat Benavidez in turn. I mean, his legs aren't. He doesn't have a lot of strength on that leg. Like, he does have fast hands and all that. So what Benavidez needs to do is go to the body to take those legs out, and then he start rushing them and start making it an ugly fight. And Benavidez throws his combinations and all that. So I'm gonna give it to Charlo. Let me see. I think I'm gonna give it to Charlo. He's gonna be how much is he gonna weigh tomorrow? He's gonna take those punches, and can Benavidez take that shot at least? Let's see how Benavidez takes that shot from a 175 pounder. Benavidez said he trains with his brother and he spars with his brother, but I never seen that. So and it's sparring, right? So I'm gonna go for Benavidez, but I'm gonna say Charlo. Whatever.
You know what, Mikey? That's a damn good point. If he came in overweight for the catch weight of 163, how much more weight is he going to stack up for tomorrow night? Hey, Mark, man, what does lean mean?
They're talking about permethazine syrup, codeine syrup, a concoction that they use in the Houston area where they mix codeine syrup, Sprite, and maybe a couple of Jolly Ranchers to give it a little bit of a good flavor, because that straight codeine has kind of a nasty flavor. You put it in there, you mix it up, and you drink, and you get, I don't know, stoned, high, but a lot of people do it. Paul Wall still does it. Paul Wall does it to this day. I've never tried it, to be honest with you. We're from down south Texas, and Texas, man, you drive 3 hours east or west, it's a whole different scene. So I've never really messed with it. I got cousins out there and everything, but a lot of people swear about it. Paul Wall says that he would never drink alcohol in his life because lean is better for you. I don't know.
Hey, homie. Well, if you're really going as a true Tejano, if you're really going for tomorrow, you be buying on some of that lean, Holmes. You're gonna be buying on some of that lean.
Hey, there's plenty of ways to do it. I hear you can put it on your blunt. I don't know. But no, hey, tomorrow, Matt, tomorrow I am going for Charlo. I get animated because I get worried for him, man. I don't think he is animated, and maybe I can give him some of the energy.
You're more animated.
When I saw the energy he had though at the weigh-in, I did see like a little bit of it, and it did get me excited because, to be honest with you, I was a little gloomy. I was gloomy after the press conference and the way he'd been looking and that buckwheat hairstyle. He got a big jacket, looking all fat, and they were already using him. They were more, hey, you're big, you're overweight. They were already, I thought he was overweight, but when he came out and he was overweight, and it looks like he did it on purpose.
You know what? You brought that up. He's laughing. You're like, ha 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 ha.
Do it. And he knows the penalty. He knows the penalty. He don't care. He wants to get back. Now I see a motivated dude. Maybe he was worried about how that was going to come up. Maybe that's why he was so docile. Or maybe he's just docile because he's depressed. I don't know. But that gave me a little bit of hope. If we could see that, rah-rah from him in the face-off, I think Charlo's got it.
Okay. Charlo has naked pictures of
You know what, man? I don't know that Charlo is the A side here. I think Benavidez is the A side.
He's the A side, man.
I really do. I think
that. They're letting him do whatever he wants. That's the A
Yeah.
side.
In the past, yes, I agree. I agree 100% with the both of you. He has been spoiled for the last 2 years. Nobody has gotten away with what he has with the WBC. I mean, it's almost a crime what he's doing. Holding all these guys hostage, that sucks. These guys want to become champs, right? But I think that they've gone on from him and they just see him as a what Cholo sees him as, maybe like high all the time. I think they think he's a burnout and they're going with the Benavidez because it's a Benavidez show.
Mm,
And I'm thinking, hey, let's give him this fight and push, on with your way. And I think Charlo's gonna come back. I don't know, I think he's the B side. You think he's the A side
I
or
think
B
I
side?
think he's the A
I
side.
see it a little different.
I think
You
he's the
you
A.
think he's the A side, Mike, or the B side, Charlo? Who's the A side here?
I think Charlo. This was his last chance, so they put him with a guy that's a little dude. They're gonna move
Yeah,
him
very
up.
little
They're
dude.
not giving him
That
the
kind of
belt.
makes.
They're not fighting for the belt. And then you know what? You're gonna pick your weight class. You don't even have to make weight. This is his last chance, dude. They're giving all kinds of chances. This is his
Yeah.
last chance because he is a name. He could potentially fight Canelo. Also, he's gonna run with Canelo. If he wins and Canelo fights him, then Benavidez. You could throw him in the mix with everyone. He's a name,
Right.
and he's in
Yeah.
Texas. Put him in Houston. This is his last chance. This is his last chance, and they're giving him all kinds of chances. So, even if he loses, I don't think he'll get knocked out by this little skinny dude, man. If it would have been someone else, like, oh shit, this is his last chance. God damn, he might get knocked out, man. It's Benavidez.
Yeah.
He's a 154 the most, but he's really a 47-pounder just because he's a little tall. I think this is his last chance, and they're not going to put him in any danger for him to get knocked out or get destroyed.
Now, I got a question for the both of you. I got a question really quick for the both of you. I got very confused here at the end. Now, they took the WBC belt from Charlo. Obviously, Charlo's been champ for like 2 years. Where is the belt right now? I'm confused. Is there an interim champ? I know this isn't for the belt, but what happened to the WBC belt? That's my question. I got lost there.
He's gonna relinquish it once he moves up to 168. Holmes, they ain't gonna take it.
Okay, so he's still the act. They haven't taken it from him.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, if anybody knows anything, okay, if anybody knows anything different, he's still WBC champion.
All right, let's go.
Anybody in the chat, if you know anything different, let us know, man. But I believe he's still WBC champion, and he is going to relinquish it once he moves up to 168 after the gift decision. Say it again, after the gift decision he has tomorrow night. Fellas, let's move on to the main event. Okay. A lot of people saying that this fight is not worth it. I'm saying it's worth it, but it's not worth $85. Okay. But I like this fight. I like the matchup. I'm glad David Benavidez is fighting Demetrius BooBoo Andre. I think this is the way to go. And I'm not sold. I'm not 100% sold the way most people are that David Benavidez wins this fight. I could somewhat see. I give BooBoo a good 40% chance in this fight, man. And who knows, man? After hearing what you guys got to say, I might even go for BooBoo, man. But Mark, I'll start with you, man. Main event time. David Benavidez going in there against Demetrius BooBoo Andre, man. What do you got?
I love it too. I'm excited for this fight as well. I'm excited for all of them. I love this fight. I love this matchup. I've always thought this is the fight that should have happened. BooBoo always wanted Canelo. Benavidez always wanted Canelo for years, and Canelo's always wanted them to fight, right? And I want them to fight. A lot of people don't. This is a fight that I think that's long overdue. I've been waiting for this fight. Why should Benavidez get the Canelo fight? Who's he beat to get it? Why should BooBoo get it? Even more of a reason. Who the heck is he beat, right? They both do need to fight to see who would have the chance to beat him, right? And I'm with Ed. I don't believe in Benavidez. I really do believe in BooBoo. He's got good skills. He's the better athlete of the both of them. And yeah, I do think he equates him in speed. We never see it because BooBoo's a little bit boring, right? He starts off pretty damn quick, gets a lead, and then kind of pop shots his way through it and gets the victory because he's that good. He's that skilled. He's boring. Not a lot of people like to see it. I think he's going to beat him in the same fashion. He's going to take a really ridiculous lead, maybe 1 through 5, maybe take a little further because it's a bigger match, maybe 1 through 6, and then he's going to coast to a victory, and it's going to be a little bit boring. But if Benavidez we'll bring it to him when he's pop shotting and doing all that, which we know he will. He ain't gonna be one of those other fighters. He's gonna come aggressive. I really do believe that BooBoo Andrade has the dog in him, and once he engages, when BooBoo brings out that dog, it's very rare and it's in very little instances, but he has it and he will take it, and it's gonna end in endurance. BooBoo has more endurance after every single fight. He's so fresh and so clean on his interviews. Aquel Benavidez is always huffing and puffing. I'm going with BooBoo.
Ooh,
And he's
controversy.
very slick. He's slick, fucking slick. He's got an awkward style. He matches him for speed. He throws punches, and he's good. Like Mike said that other time, he's a southpaw and and orthodox. I think that he's got it, and athletically, he's way up here. Athletically, boxing skills, Benavidez is a little bit higher, but BooBoo's got some skills. But the athleticism and the endurance—that's the main thing. The endurance,
Okay.
and BooBoo does have the dog to match.
Okay. And you said he's very slick.
He's very slick, man. He's a
Come
good.
on,
It's
Mark.
boring. Boring.
He's
You call it boring. I call it slick.
Sweet people.
I think he's a little awkward.
He was slick. Pernell Whitaker, that's slick. BooBoo,
Slickish.
Slickish.
He's flirting with slickish, man. Mike, what do you make of this fight, dog?
Oh man, BooBoo is 35 years old. We can't forget that. He's getting a little older. He kind of lost his he didn't get that chance he was looking for, and he's a little bit outside his prime. But we could say that. What about Crawford? What about Benavidez, right? Crawford's 36, Benavidez is about to be 40. So hopefully he still has that. He's still good. It's a southpaw, man. You can't look good versus southpaw. I keep saying it, and I want to see. It's going to be awkward. I think this fight's going decision, and they're going to give it a bit to Benavidez. If it goes decision, they're going to give it to Benavidez, unless BooBoo goes on a crazy boxing exhibition. Like, God damn, he schooled him. But he has to stay disciplined. Benavidez is coming forward with everything, and he needs to exploit those when Benavidez is off balance. All these mistakes Benavidez does. And we're going to see Benavidez's footwork because, like I said, you're fighting with your hands, but you're also fighting with your feet. So this fight is really, really interesting, man. I want to see this. The last time Benavidez fought a southpaw was 7 years ago. I forgot the name. I wrote it down, but it was 7 years ago. Why? Because who wants to fight a southpaw? When Canelo fought the Cuban, when Canelo fought Trout and all that, they gave him hell. Oh, Canelo can't fight southpaws. But Floyd had trouble with southpaws. A lot of fighters have trouble with southpaws, and that's why they haven't thrown a southpaw to Benavidez. So they picked BooBoo Andrade because he's the next big name, but the bad thing is that he's a southpaw. But I'm a favorite Benavidez, but I hope BooBoo goes to the body to stop that second half of the fight flurry by Benavidez, because at the second half of the fight, Benavidez gets stronger and stronger. Go to the body so that he doesn't get that his second win. And he switches stands and just make it boring, Shakur Stevenson-ish, or not that boring, but make it boring and make Benavidez look bad. That's it. I don't think he could knock him out. Let me see. Benavidez echoes around the gym. He doesn't have the best chin either, though. He got dropped.
Yeah, no, but no.
I don't know.
No,
he got dropped. He
got dropped. He definitely got dropped, man. BooBoo Andrade does not have any power. That dude has zero power, man. So I do not see him dropping.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see, man, because Benavidez, you could get hit with shots you don't see, and Benavidez does a lot of mistakes, man. What if a shot goes in and you don't see it? Oh, and BooBoo's awkward. He throws shots like a little awkward, little wild, like what's the Venado? What's the kid from that fought last week? The kid from Mexico. He's awkward.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm a decision Benavidez. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got you, man. All right. Yeah. So look, the reason why I'm excited for this fight is because finally we get a couple of guys at 168 that are gonna fight each other as opposed to just calling out Canelo. So I am excited for this. Do I think it's gonna be a great fight? No, I don't think. I don't think there's a such thing as a great fight when you're talking about Demetrius Bubu Andrade. There is no such thing as it. Um, the thing is here, usually for the most part, David Benavidez has always had to punch downwards because he has usually been the taller guy. That's not the case here. They are just about the same height. So, and he's a southpaw, Andrade. So that kind of switches the game a little bit for Benavidez. He's usually the taller guy. He's usually the guy who can kind of lean on the other fighter because the other fighter is a lot shorter. He's not really going to be able to do that with Andrade. Andrade, he's a good boxer. Um, and that's pretty much all I really got to say about Andrade, man. He doesn't have any really good power. I mean, his speed is somewhat okay there. He makes his fights really, really boring. If he had some power, he'd have a little bit more knockdown or knockouts at the very least, some knockdowns. Um, I could see him, and we all forget both of these guys are undefeated. Both of these guys are undefeated, man. And Bubu Andrade has more professional fights than Benavidez. It's just Benavidez brings a little bit more action with his fast hand speed and combinations. I'm not really sure if he's going to really be able to do that with Andrade. I think this is going to be a little bit of a boring fight, not like what we saw last Thursday with Shakur and De Los Santos. But I don't think it's going to be an action-packed fight. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a somewhat okay, so kind of decent, a little bit more on the boring side. And I'm going to tell everybody this, man. I want Boo Boo to win. I do. I want him to win this fight. I really do want him to win this fight. I think the Benavidez Canelo fight will always be there and will happen eventually. I think it does happen. Look, there's talks about right now that because that's all what this is really for, right? Everybody is talking about this fight is because, oh man, because if Benavidez wins, oh, he gets Canelo next. Oh, wait a second. Everyone's talking about Canelo Munguia next, and then Benavidez in September. That's all this fight is really about. I don't really hear anybody talking about like, man, this is a big fight that I've been waiting for. Finally, these two guys go at it. No, it's about okay, who gets Canelo next. However, all I hear is Benavidez. Well, what happens if Boo Boo wins? He's an undefeated fighter. If Boo Boo wins, do you put him in the place where you were putting Benavidez had he won the fight and have Boo Boo fight Canelo? And if the answer is no, well, then why does that put Benavidez there, man? Now, yes, there's arguments to be made. Benavidez was former champion. He never lost his belts. Yes, he was undisciplined. That's how he lost his titles. I get that part. However, here you are, two undefeated fighters. If Boo Boo does come out with the victory, do we get or do people make an argument for Boo Boo versus Canelo next? Mark, how say you, man?
Yeah, I like the idea of what if Boo Boo wins, man? That throws a monkey wrench in everything. I'd love that to happen. What the heck? You know they're not going to give him Canelo. But if Boo Boo wins, that's pretty badass for him. He'll get some pretty good fights. I don't think he'll ever become a pay-per-view fighter, but he'll get some pretty good paydays after that and make some interesting fights that we've, pretty much all have wanted to see here and there. I personally have been waiting for this fight for a real long time. I've been waiting for it since they coined the phrase payday. And then he said, why don't you go fight Benavidez and I've been waiting for it since back then. So I'm excited that it's finally happening. I am a little bit worried because of what Mike said. Yeah, maybe they waited too long to give it to Boo Boo, but I'm glad he at least got it finally. If not with him, Canelo, at least he got Benavidez because the guy's worked his ass off. But at 35, he only started boxing at 20, so I don't think he's too old. But if he wins, it's going to throw a monkey wrench in everything. And I don't think Benavidez gets the Canelo fight because contrary to what everybody believes, I don't know. People say that he's going to fight till he's 35 or 36. I don't see him fighting much longer. I bet you he's got 2 fights next year, and that's it. He's too rich, and he loves golf too much. And that's not a joke. He loves golf too much. He wants to start doing professional shit, and he wants to start his Formula One and all this shit. He's got plans, man.
You're
You know,
saying the fight between Canelo and Benavidez never happens?
I think that if BooBoo beats Benavidez, we probably have a 40% chance of it happening.
No,
I
no, man.
don't think, because Canelo's gonna fight twice next year, and I don't think he's gonna fucking have another year. I think he's gonna retire after September, May, September. That's it. I don't think he's gonna fight until he's 35. He has too much going on ahead in his life with the F1, with the golf, with all of his business. He wants to retire. I see him wanting to retire. How is he gonna fight Benavidez if Benavidez loses? And then next year, he's probably going to fight Munguia for sure, right? He's fighting him in May. After that, maybe Benavidez gets him in September. If not, he misses the boat, and that's it.
Well, it's not a for sure that he's fighting Munguia next, but yeah, that's definitely the rumble. So you're saying 2024 is the end of Canelo?
I have been saying it for 2 years. He's not going to fight after that. He is laying the foundation business-wise to get the hell out.
Okay. Okay.
But he has said he's going to fight to 35. I don't believe it.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So you know what I mean? He's going to quit. If he wins, he's maybe going to fight him for his last fight. If he loses, nobody, Canelo doesn't need to prove anything to anybody.
I agree. No, I agree.
I seriously think that he's going to miss the boat if he loses.
Okay. Okay. I don't, man. I don't, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Mikey, if BooBoo wins, should BooBoo get a crack at Canelo? Yeah, everyone's talking about Benavidez. Hey, Benavidez wins. Oh, now he should be fighting Canelo. Well, what if BooBoo wins? Should he get that crack?
It just Canelo. He's there for legacy, and he's there for business. And BooBoo, what legacy are you gonna get? He doesn't bring nothing to the table. No belts. He doesn't bring any money to the table. So he'd rather fight Munguia. He'll sell that out big. I mean, Canelo could sell with anybody, but he'll sell with Munguia. He'll make that. It'll be an exciting fight. First of all, BooBoo style is going to be running and moving. It's not. Canelo doesn't. It's not. He wants to entertain plus make that bag, and I don't think BooBoo it brings that to the table. I'm sorry. It's just he's a boring fighter, and the only way for BooBoo to win, he has to knock out Benavidez. Let's keep it real, Ed. Come on. I don't. Even if he goes decision and he schools him or whatever, it has to be like a great boxing lesson, which I'm not going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that. It's going to be Benavidez decision or knockout Benavidez. I think it's going to go to decision, and they're going to give it to Benavidez. That's the fight to me. Vegas, Floyd used to generate billions in Vegas. When the sodas, the beer, the strip. Floyd Canelo does the same thing. It's business. Canelo's a businessman. You know what I mean? He's a business. So it has to be Benavidez. He has to knock out Benavidez. So I don't even want to entertain that question, Ed. How about that? You know what I'm saying?
Canelo sucks at golf, man. So how's he gonna do that?
It's too easy.
I'm putting it.
Making 100. Oh man.
I'm putting it out to the boxing universe. Let's go, BooBoo Andrade. Go get that victory, man.
Go get it, baby. I'm with
So
BooBoo,
you're saying BooBoo's gonna win it? Is that what you're trying to say? He has to knock him out.
No. I'm gonna. You know what? You know what? For the first time ever, I'm gonna root for BooBoo Andrade. I want him to win. I want him to win because I want all this whole perfect plan that is not perfect, that everybody keeps on trying to throw out there and throw out there and throw out there. And I'm like, no, man, that does not make sense. My plan makes sense. Have BooBoo win. I just want to throw a wrench in everybody's imperfect motor that think it's a perfect motor. Chavez, give me that BooBoo wrench and I'm gonna throw it in there and it's gonna break down.
And you know what? Just real quick, in the way it Benavidez, I thought it was Chavez Jr. Like for a second, like what the fuck? He looked like a skeleton, dude. Hey, you never know, man. Hey, what if he gets burned out because he can't make that weight anymore? They said the haters are gonna talk shit. He looks like a skeleton, dude. His face, his eyes are sucked up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. He's on that glass pipa, homie. So
yeah, man.
Hey, Well, look, man, either way, $85 just to wrap it up. Mark, this is a good card, man. I like this card. A lot of people, complain about the cards today that they only focus on the main event and the card sucks. This is actually a pretty damn good card. $85, Mark, worth it or not worth it?
Hell no, man. Shit. This is getting out of hand, man. It's getting ridiculous to watch boxing already. Chinga, $85, man. I mean, boxing is making criminals of everybody, man. Everybody's running out to get a fire stick and wire it up and screw the cable company. Like half of the people who own fire sticks are boxing fans, man, that just don't want to pay that shit. It's expensive, man. But as for the card, yeah, it's fucking excellent. But I wish they would price these accordingly. I mean, $85, I would pay $85 for like a Marvin Hagler Leonard type of. Pero come on, man, give us a break. Now there's no more Showtime, there's no more HBO. Give us a break. Figure something out so people can watch this shit. Who's gonna watch it for $85 during Christmas? Wait, get pedo, cabrón. Like, come on, man. It's fucking Christmas. And then it's a chingao Espinosa. You couldn't fucking throw a bone to the raza, dude. Shit, the last one, with $85. No mames. I wish they would price these things accordingly. They need to come. Whoever takes it over, now that Showtime's gone, maybe start pricing them accordingly. Oye, pues $20 para esta, 35 for this paper, but $85 for these dudes. I mean, I like the card, but they need to find out a pricing system. We can't continue to go like this. People, it's hard to get around, much less enjoy a boxing match, man. I mean, boxing match is becoming something like unattainable, like a fucking privilege, like for blue bloods, and it's a fucking sport for raza, for the lowest of the low. It's always been a fucking fight of the low people, like, come on, man, like, we don't have the money. Like,
For the low of the low, we just throw
you got football players. They're collegiate athletes, bro. Boxing comes from the slums. Don't charge us that, Roy. Don't charge us that shit. Because it's gonna be a breaking. Who's gonna pay for this shit? I think it will. What, 300,000 views would be a success, I would believe. I mean, during the holidays, Black Friday, $85. Come on. I don't know. I think it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, look, it definitely does not sell half a mil. This is not going to sell half a mil. It's going to be
because of the money.
It's definitely going to be under half a mil. Mikey, 168-pound main event, and the big star at 168. Canelo's not in it. Great card. I'm not complaining about the card, man. $85 worth though, Mikey.
Yeah, it's a little too expensive, man. It's a little too. Whatever happened to $50? Remember, it was like 40-something bucks in De La Hoya, something like that. It was 24. I don't remember. I was a kid, but man, it's getting expensive. 89, 90 plus taxes. That's $100, man. Let's keep it real. No, it's too expensive. I'm not paying for it.
Sí, güey. Mira, ponte a pensar. Compré una televisión el otro día. $385 Crystal UHD. Son como 35% de una pinche televisión, güey. No mames.
Yeah.
It's a fucking ridiculous. You buy a TV, son $500, güey. Son casi 25-30% de una pinche tele, güey. Casi 40%. No mames, güey. That's a fucking major appliance.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, man. That's a good point.
Well, I am a banker.
you work in real estate now. Yeah, no, it's a good point. And for the biggest name on there to be David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo, which they're not even fighting each other. $85, man. That's it's a good card. Good card. I got no complaints about the card, but these pay-per-views, we got to kill these pay-per-views off, man, because it's ridiculous. But with that, we will end it. Shout outs to all the chingones y chingonas. That is Mark Anthony, the true proud Tejano, who's going to be sipping on
Don't let us down, Charlo. Don't let us down. Got a lot to prove, carnal.
You guys go catch him on Putazos y Pendejadas. That is one, Mr. Mike Zavala from Mikey TV. Cholo Trucker, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it. So we'll come back and do it again. Catch you guys on next round.